Okay, so today I'm going to show you a tool that you can use to build websites twice as fast. Now, this tool only works for Figma and for Webflow, and I'm going to show the Webflow process here, and it's called Relume Library. And basically what it is just a bunch of pre-made sections for your website that you can copy and paste into Webflow without having to build them from scratch. And obviously they have navbars here, they have header sections, they have like feature sections, basically every type of section you might need for your website, and they're not branded, so you can customize them to your own branding. And here are the plans as well. So they do have a free plan available. They've got a starter plan, which will be good for most of you. And the good thing about this is once you've built the site and you've copied all the components you need, you can just cancel the plan anyways, so you might only need it for a month anyway. But if you're an agency and design a lot, then they do yearly plans as well to get it cheaper. So to get started, you're going to go over here to the right, the preferences, and you want to clone the style guide, and it'll take you to the Webflow page. If you're logged in on Webflow, this will just pop up, and then we can click on clone in Webflow. So you're going to have to create a new site. Now, there is ways to integrate this into a current site. However, it is a bit more complicated. If you go into the Learn section here on Relume, they do have good tutorial videos on there, and they can tell you how to get started if you are using it with a current site. But if you're building a brand new site, here's how you get started. So we're going to click on Create Site. And I'm going to be doing my new agency website. And this has copied the project over to Webflow. So this will have all the classes set up and all of the style guides set up and integrated by copying this project. And as you can see here on the Navigator tab, it's set it up so it's good for Webflow here, and it's got the right structure in place. Now, if we click on the pages in Webflow, you click on Style Guide, and this is where you'll make all the customizations to your branding. So you can add your own fonts, you can add your own colors, and you can change your default button styles. So firstly, we're going to start with the home page. So what you want to do is go to the Navigator tab on the left here, go down to Main Wrapper, and this box here, you can just delete that because that's the default Relume guide. So we're going to come back to the Relume website, and then I'm going to look for navbars to get started. So for me, I just need a navbar with one contact button and some links in the middle with my logo on the left. So this navbar 2 looks pretty good for me. So I'm going to copy that, go back to Webflow, and where we want to put the navbar is inside the page wrapper and above the main wrapper. So I'm going to click on page wrapper and then Control V to paste, and I'm going to put it above the main wrapper, and there you'll see we've got our navbar in there. Now, what you can do to make this easy across your Webflow site is you want to save this as a component. So click on the component tab here on Webflow on the left, and then we want to create new component. I'm going to call this navbar. So whenever I come to use the navbar again on another page, I can just click navbar and it'll add another one into the page. So I'm going to X off that. Now the next thing I want is a footer. So I'm going to click on footers on Relume Library, and I need a newsletter section and some links. So I think this footer one looks pretty good for me. So I'm going to copy this, go back to Webflow, and I'm going to paste it in the page wrapper again. Now, it's the same situation for the footer as well. We don't want to paste it inside the main wrapper. We want to paste it in the page wrapper. Now, Control V into there, and we put it below the main wrapper, and you can do the same again and make this a component so you can copy it to the rest of your site. And that's the footer created. So we've got a footer, we've got a navbar. Now, let's get some content in the middle of the page. So firstly, we want our hero section. So I'm going to go to the hero header sections. And the good thing is here, you can filter by different preferences on the left here. So if you want the text aligned to the left, all the sections with the text on the left will show up. Or if you want them all centered aligned, all the center aligned sections will show up here as well. You can also choose the columns too. You can have one column layouts, or you can have 2 column layouts as well. So I'm going to choose text align to the left because I want it coming from the left, and I just want a standard image on the right side as well. So I'm going to copy that, and I'm going to paste this inside the main wrapper. So all of the page content will go inside this main wrapper. That's how you copy and paste elements and have the correct structure. Now, if you want to make new pages on your website with this tool, the easy way to do it so you put the correct structure here is literally go onto your Webflow pages, click on the settings tab, and then you can duplicate the page here. And then once you duplicate that, you'll have 2 pages with the same structure and same content on there. So I'm just going to finish off adding the sections that I want for my home page. So I'm going to go to logo sections because I want to include some logos on my home page as well. And these are of particular clients that I've worked with. So choose a hero. So just choose a section that you like. So for me, I like this logo 2 section here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to paste it into the main wrapper again, Control V, and make sure it's below the heading section. And we've got our section there with logos. Now I'm just going to add a couple more sections for example purposes. And the good thing about this is if you want a section that's say in the team section here on the side. So it's in the team section, but you want to use it for your blog posts or whatever, you can. Just because they have certain labels on here, it doesn't mean you're restricted to them sections. You can use any of these sections for any type of section you want on your website. So the next section I want is the feature section. I want 3 columns, and this is going to be to display my services. So I'm going to scroll through them. I like the look of this one here. No, actually, I like the look of this one here instead. And I'm going to copy that into my main wrapper again. Make sure it's below there, and there I have my section. So let's just say, for example purposes, this was a finished page and I've added all the sections I want. Now you simply just add your content. So go then creative, and then you can add any text that you want here. As for images, you simply just click on the image and add an image like you do on Webflow. Now, so we're going to go on to changing the colors and the font styles on the page. So if we go over to our style guide here, now if we click on heading 1, what you want to do is click heading 1 and then go to the settings on Webflow here on your right. Now on the style selector, click this box and select all heading 1s. Now this will alter all the H1 tags on your page. So any with default class of H1, this will change the settings for. So if we change the color to, let's say, a red, do that. If we go back to the page, you can see my H1 tag on the home page has changed. So I'm just going to undo that. I'm going to set it back to the default black. Now if you want to change the fonts of the entire website, click on the body tag on the style guide page, go onto the right hand side here, click body all pages, and you can see the font we got selected right now is System UI. So what you're going to do is you'll see as you select different fonts here, it changes. So it's an ugly font, but so you can see the change, I'm going to choose this font here. And as we selected that, that's changed the default font across all text elements on the website. And if we go back to the home page, you'll see all the fonts have changed. So it's very fast to make changes to your whole website branding. Let's just say you have a rebrand, you change your fonts, your colors. It's very easy to make changes. Now, if we scroll down to the background colors. So some of the best way to set this up so it's the right classes on Webflow, and so you're doing it as best practice. So let's just say you want to change background colors of some sections. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight this class. I'm going to copy this and I'm going to paste it right in the same space. So this creates a new background color. So we copy this class. We're going to change the label here to background color blue. Now we're going to click on the box and then over to the right with the class. We're going to click on this class. We're going to duplicate it and then we're going to change this to blue. That way it doesn't overwrite the gray one that we've already got. So make sure you duplicate it. So now we change that class to blue. We can change it without affecting other elements, just this one. So scroll down to background colors. We're going to select a random blue. And if we go back to the home page, so whenever you want to add this blue background, let's just say you want to add it to this section here. Click on this section, go to section layout, and then in the class tab here, you can add this as a subclass. So we're going to start typing background color, and we're going to select background color blue, and then this applies the blue class to the background. Now, when you're making changes, it's important that you use subclasses and you learn how to use it properly. The Webflow class system can be a bit complicated to learn sometimes, but this is the correct way to set up your site so it doesn't bloat up the website with unnecessary code. And this is how you'll make most changes to the site as well. However, before using this tool, I highly recommend you use the Webflow University to learn more about Webflow Works. Now, this video I'm creating is more for people who already know Webflow, and I'm trying to save them time. But if you haven't learned Webflow yet, definitely dive into this. The tutorials are free and they're very helpful. Some of the best tutorials out there. And you can also spend a bit more time learning Relume if you're not fully confident. I feel like if you know Webflow, you just need to spend 5 or 10 minutes learning Relume and you can get the hang of it. But that is the main way that you'll make changes to the site. But you don't have to go to the style guide to make changes either. So let's just say this is my default button here, this black one. And because it's got the class button, that's going to be the default style across the entire website. So I can make changes to this default class. So let's just say I want to add a border to it. I want to make it curved. And let's just say I want to change the color from black and I want to go to a green. There we go. And then that will change all the buttons on the website. You see my navbar button's changed. And you'll see these buttons haven't changed because if you click on them, they've got a different class to their secondary buttons. So if we go back to the style guide and scroll down to the button section, you see you can use different types of buttons here. So you can keep a main button for your main call to action and then change the styles of others. So I hope this video has helped and give you some insights on how you can improve your Webflow process. And it is very easy to learn, especially with the 2 resources offered by Relume and Webflow. And if you design a lot of websites, it will speed up your process drastically, along with keeping everything organized as well with this very useful style guide too on your website. It's an easy way to manage your branding and to make fast changes. So I highly recommend this tool if you use Webflow. It's probably the fastest way and the best way to make a properly structured website for Webflow. If you've got any questions, leave me a comment down below. And if you want to try out this tool as well, I'll leave a link in the description. Thanks for watching.